Welcome back to the lab, folks. So I had this meter sent in to me by the people over at Zotek. No cost to me. That is my disclosure on this. Now this is a battery test multimeter. So this is the one you see here, not the one you see on the other side, which is an LCR meter. So let's have a look and see what we got here. Well, we got a meter in a pouch, a user manual. I'll leave a link down in the description to ZOYI's page on this so you can download the manual and have a look. We got some Kelvin clips, some regular probes here, a temperature probe, and a USB cable. So it goes from USB-A to USB-C. That's for charging, I assume. Now, I do have this is okay. I mean, but they could have made the pouch a bit bigger, so you could put everything in there, and maybe have like two compartments, one for all the accessories, and one for the meter itself. But now, in this case, they're separate, and quite likely to get lost from each other. Now, I know you can go on to AliExpress, and you can buy a nice little case for this, but it'd be nice if you didn't have to. And the user manual, I think these are English only from Zotek. Yep. So that's good. Let's have a look at the meter itself. Very compact. Fits nicely in the hand. Feels reasonably light. Okay, let's turn this one on. Okay, nice big display. It's a 25,000 count meter, so that's good to have. We must be in multimeter mode now. That battery test mode. Back to multimeter mode. There's the different functions it'll do. That's AC and DC here. This is update speed and range. This is the menu. There's a little cap covering this connector here for the Kelvin. And here are the input probes for the multimeter. Let's see, are they standard spacing? Yes, they are. Okay, very nice. You know, it is important. Some companies don't realize that for some reason. And we've got a hold. Or if you hold it down for 2 seconds, it goes into REL mode. REL mode is a nice thing to have. Wonderful. Let's get in the menu here and see what's in there. So you can set up your language. I have it set to English, obviously. We could set the volume of the beep. Backlight is already set at 100%. This is the turn off timer, set to 15 minutes. That's fine. You can calibrate it all the way up, and you can restore it back. Okay, that's good. I want to first check it out in battery test mode. And in here, you'll notice down here at the bottom, you've got voltage high and voltage low. You've got resistance high and resistance low. So you can set it up for battery matching. So if you have several different batteries that you want to build a battery pack out of, that you want them to be very closely matched, well, this allows you to rapidly do that. So it'll either pass or fail the batteries based on that. So let's get this hooked up, and then we'll set up to check out that feature. Okay, so I've set up here for a high voltage of 4.2, a low voltage of 3.2, and a high resistance of 100 milliohms and a low resistance of 40 milliohms. So as long as the batteries that I test are in that range, we should lose the red here, and it should change to a different color. Let's get a couple of batteries out. Now these 4 lithium cells here, they're all the same type, same age. It's kind of old. I think they're about 10 years old. So I have no idea what state of charge these are in or anything else. But let's see if they fall within those parameters or not. So I'm going to just do this by holding them on here like this. It's not ideal. Okay, so that falls within the range. This one also falls within the range. Okay, so this one here is a little bit high on the internal resistance. It's okay on the voltage. Let's see if we'll get this last one here. And this one's a winner too. This one looks like it's the best one so far. Okay, so that is the battery testing feature. Now let's go over to the multimeter, and I'm just going to test a few things on it. This one here is 0.9997 ohms. That works for me. And I'm going to go right up to 1 k ohm here. This is 1.00011 k. That works for me too. It seems very accurate. I haven't found an inaccurate meter in a long time. This is 100k here. Precisely, it's 100.027. And again, that works for me. And here we go up to this one here is 9.9997 megohms. Wonderful. I want to check capacitance mode, so I guess we've got to cycle through this. That's continuity. We'll have a look at that. Diode and capacitor. So that's I have a couple of capacitors here that I know the values of. Now this one here is 102.05. It is a little bit reading a little bit high. It's within 10% anyway. Okay, now this one here, 1.0060 nanofarads. Let's see how this one does. Okay. Now let's try that diode mode. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to see what the voltage is in diode mode. So let me turn this on here. I like the screen on this. It's very clear to read, and also it doesn't get affected as much by reflections as, let's say, this does. So let's put this up into diode mode. Okay, 3.27 volts, so that should work pretty good in being able to detect LEDs. So let's actually try that out. So we got our little diode checker box here, and we'll run through them here. So these nominally are about 0.25 volts all the way up to 2.8 volts. It depends on what current you're passing through them. So I don't look for accuracy here, I just look to see if it's in the ballpark. So we'll try that. That's pretty good. Must be close to the current that was used to test these in the first place. The first diode here, yes, it lights it up and can read the voltage. This one lights it up, you can read the voltage. Lights it up, you can read the voltage. Okay, remember 2.5. I like the little graph there. You go by there, it's nice. That's a cool little feature. Yeah, okay, so it passed the diode test. It's got a good diode test voltage. Let's see about continuity. Okay, it is latched and it's pretty darn quick. I don't know how long I'm in contact there, but it's definitely only a few milliseconds. It's very nice. That's working very well. What I can do is I can put the thermocouple into it and see if that comes up around about this temperature, because it should adjust more quickly. I'm showing 21 as well. Let's now move on to some voltages. So let me hook these two together, because then we can see them side by side. I'm just going to hook it up to a power supply, and then we'll just compare them directly here. Yep, they're within spec. Bring it up there. Yeah, they're matching really good. Okay, I'll bring it up a little way here. You're 32 volts. Yeah, they're right on. 32 has gone over the 25,000 count, so let's bring that back down. Let's bring it down so it changes range there. Now bring it up. Okay, so now you're getting the full 4.5 digits. All right, and the graph is following along very nicely. Yeah, very nice indeed. So I'm gonna measure the mains with it now. We'll compare that in both of them. That's a pretty good match there. They're less than a tenth of a volt disagreement between them, so that's pretty good. And also, you notice this is a dual display here, so it gives you the frequency when you're in AC mode. Okay, I want to try a slightly smaller AC voltage, something down in the millivolt range, to see if they kind of agree there. Okay, I've got 100 millivolts going in at 70 hertz. It doesn't seem to be picking up the frequency at this voltage, but it's got the voltage right. So let me bring up the voltage, see where it gets the frequency right. Okay, so at 200 millivolts it's fine. Just at 100 millivolts it can't seem to quite get that. Oh, yeah. All right, let's bring up the frequency. I'm going to bring this up to a full volt RMS, and then we're going to bring up the frequency. So we're here at 1 kilohertz. We still got them both going. So this one's beginning to drop out now at 2 kilohertz. Let's increase the voltage there a little bit. I'm up to 5 volts. This one is kind of dying out too, so it's getting 4.8 here. This one's a little bit worse. So let's bring them up until this one drops below 3.5 volts. That would be the 3 dB point. So yeah, around about 3.1 kilohertz. All right, so I think that draws the test to a conclusion. I like it. I really do. I wouldn't say it would be a main meter for somebody. I think this would be a great second meter because it does add this battery test feature. So that would be good for somebody like an auto mechanic as a second meter, or like I said, an RC hobbyist, or anybody who's dealing with battery packs and needs to match up batteries, or test batteries for one reason or another. But why would it not make a good primary meter? Well, it doesn't have any current range on it. So in a way, that's a good thing. You're not going to be blowing up fuses accidentally. So it's always going to be working for you. I do like it a lot. I think ZOYI got a good little meter here. All right, thanks for coming out, folks. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.